Hi, how are you today? So, today I wanted to talk about a topic that is like so important. I think that so many of us struggle with it, including myself from time to time. Emotional regulation. How do you handle your emotions? I think that we all struggle with handling our emotions. And this is a topic that I don't even know if I could do in one sitting. I think this is a topic that is going to require a series of top conversations because it's so important to everyone, I want to say. Um, so a lot of the time, managing emotional regulation is basically being able to manage your emotions effectively. Are you handling your emotions effectively? Do you feel like you fly off the handle? Do you feel like you misunderstand things? Do you feel like you're misunderstood? Do you feel like your delivery is sometimes unacceptable to others, or do you feel like sometimes your delivery is not understood, right? Do you feel like you respond in a way that's inappropriate? Do you feel like sometimes you fly off the handle, whether you're angry or you're crying, and the conversation or topic doesn't warrant that? So if those things are happening, then you definitely struggle from some type of emotional regulation. And sometimes keep in mind, it could also be hormonal because we do have hormones, right? And so sometimes hormonally, we're in a space where your hormones are all over the place, like a pinball machine. And so it's not being able to manage that. And that can be like young, or like me, I'm in, menopause age. And so I definitely, even when you're not in that space, you could be in a different space where you just don't recognize that that's what's happening, right? So it's all hormonal, and that happens in our life. So if you're dealing with emotional regulation, there are some goals that you need to attain while trying to overcome it, right? Part of emotional regulation is understanding your self awareness, your self acceptance, and your self esteem. A lot of how we receive things is indicative to what we feel about self, right? Are you whole? Are you struggling with your own emotions? Are you struggling with your own internal battles? Because we all have them. We all have internal battles. Are you struggling with internal battles? Are you projecting your internal battles onto others because you're not able to manage your own emotions? It's all of those things, right? So that's a big part of it. Another part of trying to manage your emotional regulation is decreasing your defensiveness, right? Do you get defensive when people talk to you? Do you create these stories and scenarios in your head about what they may be thinking, or what they may be saying about you, or what they may be feeling? 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. And a lot of the time, people are in their own individual challenges and struggles and happiness and whatever, right? Like whatever. People are in their own space of doing things, and sometimes it's not personal. It's not always about you. And so understanding self and managing what is going on within, having understanding those uncomfortable feelings that you have, because we all have them. We all have uncomfortable feelings. And so when you have uncomfortable feelings, it's recognizing it and being able to identify what those uncomfortable feelings are. What are your uncomfortable feelings? What does that look like for you? Does that stem from present? Does that stem from past? Does that stem from relationships? Does that stem from traumas in your family system? What does that stem from? And so those uncomfortable feelings, which is which can be a myriad of different things, is an individual struggle. It's an individual thing. Only you know what your uncomfortable feelings are, right? Because we only know within our individual selves what our struggles and our battles are. So that's recognizing that. Improving your insight on things. In order to improve insight, you have to battle those uncomfortable feelings. You can't gain clarity and gain insight on things if you don't address your uncomfortable feelings. When you become whole emotionally, you know how to deal with you know how to deal with people. You know how to handle situations. You're not taking things, to heart. You're not taking things, What is so important to understand is, and this was like one of the biggest things that was like life-changing for me. It saved my life. When someone is aggressive toward you, it has nothing to do with you. Most times, right? Obviously, if you have people who's manipulating you and like wanting to fight you physically, and that's a whole nother thing. But like when you're just passing by people, when you're in a store or wherever you are and people are just nasty, just rude, when you have to call customer service and you get a rep on the phone and they're just sucky, it's not about you. Emotional regulation is understanding that. Emotional regulation is being so good inside that other people are not shaking you. Other people are not rattling you. It is a very difficult journey to become emotionally regulated if you're not. I want to say most people have some form of some form of lack of emotional regulation. Like I stated earlier, when it's hormonal, it's really difficult to deal with. It's really difficult to manage. But a lot of the time, our emotional regulation comes from just being aware of it. Knowing is half the battle. Everyone's heard that. Knowing is half the battle. And so when you're conquering and you're dealing with emotional regulation, you're gaining insight, you're understanding your own awareness of things, you are fixing your defensiveness. Why are you becoming so defensive? What is going on within yourself that you are feeling so defensive? We are all a mirror effect. That is so important to know. We are a mirror image. We are a mirror image. And so sometimes the way that we project is very indicative of the things that we're feeling inside. What are the things that you need to fix inside of you? There should never be anyone walking on the face of this earth that's visible, right? Externally, that can affect you to the point where you are emotionally all over the place. That should never happen. And if it's happening, then it's getting that intact. Trying to figure out why you are so emotionally irregular, right? And trying to figure out how to become balanced. You need a balance within yourself to battle emotional irregular, not being emotional regulated, okay? It is so important to find that balance within yourself, and it doesn't come from anywhere else. I need to preface that. It doesn't come from anywhere else. It comes from within. Everyone's heard the scenario or the comment or the statement rather. You can't control how others react or how others act. You can only control how you respond to them. And so that is important to understand. People are going to react. People are going to be, right? No matter what that is. That can be, nice, that can be nasty, that can be ugly, that can be whatever, violent, it's how you respond to people, and it's how you correlate with self. Self is the most powerful thing that you can ever understand. when you get control of who you are, when you don't allow other people to make you feel bad about yourself, when you focus and you go within to heal, that's when you truly become a powerful being. Okay? Very, very important topic. So, please subscribe. Please like and share. I've seen some people sharing. I really appreciate it. I throw these on my reels to the public, and I've been getting so many views. It's been beautiful, like 2,000 views sometimes, but I really appreciate it more so because of the message. It's so important to get the messages out there for people who really don't understand and don't know which way to go and don't know how to, to work it. So I want you to have a beautiful day and enjoy the rest of your week.